Okay. So any doubts, guys, on security? Any doubts, questions?
No.
I have a question. At
Yes,
the
yes.
application level, there is multiple system or multiple customers are connecting through the application on a server with the
Okay.
same SA account. How would
Mm.
we know which team or which application
First of
member?
all, see, first of all, application team will never connect using SA account. Okay. Their service accounts, any applications using service accounts only, they will connect. Okay, they will have their own service account. So we can track it easily, and there it will show you the application. If you see sp underscore who to under program name, from which application which user is connected. Why? Because they are also using an application. So they will also log into their application using their names only, right? Correct, guys? Abhilasha? Yeah. So when you are using an application, it's not like a admin password kind of application. When you want to log into that application, then also you have to give your own username and password. So by using that, that will be tracked if that guy Abhilash is connected through one application, XYZ application. Abhilash is selecting some options. When you are selecting some options, when you are clicking generate, for example, you are generating a report. Okay, you are from BI tool, BI team, business intelligence team, or else analytics team. So you just connected your internal application and you are running one. You are generating one report. You will select some of the options and generate a report that will internally generate a query. That query will run in the SQL server. But to the application, how you connected using your credentials, right? So that it will show you in your login name section. So don't think like all the applications will use SA only. So using SA, if they are using a common login to connect, okay, then that will be difficult. But through application they are connecting, that application will also have a security. So using username and password only they can connect. So when you are running something, that will be easily tracked in the SQL server with your username. Okay, Abhilash? Yeah. Any other questions, guys, on security?
Yeah, Shanmugh.
Yeah, Shankar.
Yeah, if suppose client asks to create a user and add it in SQL, like you have said, one group is there, na Windows
Mm, mm, mm,
authentication,
mm,
like that.
mm,
So if we ask like that, what should we need to do in that kind in that
Generally,
scenario?
that is a, see, groups always will be either groups or Windows logins always will
Hmm.
be created by the Windows team only. Where they will
Hmm.
connect, here we didn't started that advanced concept called Active Directory. In the organization, we will use Active Directory. That's a centralized security system. So
Okay.
everyone who are using office resources like office laptops, servers, office phones,
Hmm.
whoever using the office resources, they should be part of Active Directory. So creating the
Okay.
users in the Active Directory is the responsibility of the Windows team. So I told you one point, whether you remember it or not, if someone comes to you and, for
Hmm.
example, already group is created and someone
Hmm.
comes to you and they're asking, hey, I want to replicate my access as Dinesh. I gave you an example of Dinesh also. So
Ah.
Dinesh will be part of one group, right? Some XYZ group, SQL developers group, imagine. So
Hmm.
when we get to know the Dinesh group name, we'll directly, for example, you are looking for the access, same kind of access as Dinesh. So will if I am a DBA, will tell to you, hey Shankar, Dinesh is part of SQL developers group. Go to Windows team, ask them to add your account into that particular group. So Windows team will add your account into that SQL developers group. Once they have added, that group is already having access, right? Some XYZ access is having, right? Immediately
Yes.
we'll get the same kind of access. We don't do, as a DBA, we don't do anything from our side.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Zero. DBA, the activity of DBA is zero. Will simply route you to the respective team when, if the group is already created.
Okay.
If the group is not created, you will go to the Windows team. They will create a group. You will give me that group name. I will create a Windows login in the SQL server and I'll give the permissions.
Okay.
If it is existed DBA, there is no work to DBA. We'll simply route you to the Windows team. If the group is not existed, then Windows team will create a group. You will let me know the group name. Then I'll create a Windows login in the SQL server and you will get the immediate access.
So if we want to create means we need the Windows access,
We'll,
right?
we'll never create a group. Why? Because that needs Active Directory access. So Windows team
Okay.
will never let you to touch the Active Directory.
Okay.
That also will be discussed in our classes. We have Active Directory domain setup also. I'll show you how to create the users and groups in the Active Directory. Same like
Because
this
I
only.
few days back I faced this issue, like user asking to create that new. I mean, client is asking to create
If
a
you're
user and add it in some
if
group.
your if your organization is a big one, okay,
Hmm.
generally for everything there will be a separate teams. If your company is a startup company, a small company, then sometimes they might ask you to do. But in case if you want to do, it's not a DB activity, you should have access to the Active Directory.
Okay.
Okay, so you cannot do. Why?
Okay.
Because all the
Yes,
users will be
sir.
created.
If
Raj-
you
Rajgopal, one
want
minute.
to
Rajgopal,
create any
Rajgopal,
group,
Rajgopal.
yes,
Your
sir.
voice is completely breaking, Rajgopal.
If you want to create any
Rajgopal,
group from
Rajgopal.
Windows, you have to take any approval from management.
అయిపోయిందా అయిపోయిందా రాజగోపాల్ మీ వాయిస్ డిస్కనెక్ట్ అయిపోతుంది బ్రేక్ అయిపోతుంది ఒకసారి చూసి మళ్ళీ రీకనెక్ట్ అవ్వండి కంప్లీట్గా బ్రేక్ అవుతుంది మీ వాయిస్ యా
Hello, sir.
యా నకుల్
Sir, if suppose
వన్
I
మినిట్
am
వన్ మినిట్ వన్ మినిట్ వన్ మినిట్
okay,
నకుల్
okay.
యా శంకర్ ఈజ్ ఇట్
Yeah,
క్లియర్
yeah.
నౌ
Yeah, I got that point. I just clarification. We have any other access for that? We need
No,
to add.
no, no, no. We can't do anything. In case
Yes,
if you
sir.
have a separate team for that, they will only can access to Active Directory. They only can create the groups. Once they created, I'll show you. We have Active Directory setup also, but in the
Okay.
organization we don't do that. Yeah, Nakul.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Raj Gopal, you can type your question in the chat. Okay, I'll check. Yeah, Nakul, please.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Nakul.
Sir, if suppose I am doing work from home and I supposedly log into the any server or RDP to the server, and
Okay.
after that power is off, I directly
Nothing
remove
will
from the
happen.
server without logout. Then
Nothing will
will my
happen.
account is
No, no, no,
locked, sir?
no. Nothing like that. In case if the power is gone, if your laptop is restarted, the server will be disconnected. I told you, right, one option. There is a disconnect option when we are connecting to the server. Three options will be there: sign out, log off, disconnect. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
suddenly, if your laptop is rebooted or because of some other issues, so your account will be disconnected from the server. Sometimes it might lock. For example, when it will be locked, sometimes if you are keep on disconnecting, 1 minute, just 1 minute. Hello, Arun. Yeah, చెప్పండి Arun. Right. Okay. So what we are discussing, guys?
Sir,
About
about
Active
disconnect.
Directory.
Active Directory, that is completed, right?
No, regarding this power connection.
Disconnect. Okay, server
Yeah.
disconnect. So sometimes what will happen, if you are keep on disconnecting or you are idle on the server for a long time. If you are idle, you are not doing anything, sometimes it will be locked. Your account will be locked. In that scenario, if your account is locked, then you have to contact Windows team only. They only can unlock your account. No others can unlock your account. Okay. If SQL account is locked, we can unlock from the login properties. Yesterday we have seen, right? But if Windows login or the account that you are using to connect to the servers through RDP, if that is locked, you have to contact Windows team. They will help you to unlock the account. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, Nakul. So Rajgopal, if we need any group, we need to take any approval. If from DBA side, if we need any group, generally our manager will approve, and then we can request Windows team. They will create it. Process is process, Rajgopal. Even we are doing that, or we are getting request from any other team. So the process is process. Why? Because it's not like simply we can go ahead. For every action, there should be a ticket. Some organizations, they will strictly follow this principle. Some organization, the process will be very light for them. So once you're into the organization, you will have an idea whether they are strictly following the process or not. Your manager or lead will keep on pressing, please follow the process, please follow the process. In that scenario, yes, it's mandatory. So if they are not so serious about the process, sometimes they don't click into it. Okay, that's not an issue. Okay, Rajgopal?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Fine, guys. Okay. So let's jump into the new topic called backups, restores, and recovery of the database. Backups, restores, and recovery of the database. So everyone knows the importance of the backups, right? Every day, knowingly or unknowingly, you are taking backups. Do you know that, guys? Knowingly or unknowingly, you're taking the backups, or automatically the backups are running in your phone. Can you tell me what kind of backups are running in your phone?
WhatsApp backup,
WhatsApp
Google
backup.
Photos,
Google Photos.
Google
very
Photos
good.
backup.
Yes, very good. Your WhatsApp chats, your Google Photos, whatever photos, your contacts, everything will be backed up daily on a daily basis. That is called synchronization. Backup WhatsApp side backups will be there. For example, if you are using same mobile number and the same mail ID, you just logged into your new device using the same mail ID that you used for your previous device. When you install WhatsApp, when you log into the WhatsApp, you'll immediately get all the previous messages. How come? How come we are getting those messages, guys? Because of the backups. So backups are very, very, very important. Okay, especially the data is a sensitive data. Okay, whatever it is, whether it's a sensitive data or any other data, as a DBA, it's our responsibility to provide the safety. In the last class, in the last few classes, we discussed about the security. As a DBA, it's our responsibility to provide the safety and security to the data. This point we have already discussed during the initial DBA roles. Okay, so as a DBA, what we have to do, guys, we have to provide the safety and security to the data. So how we can provide security, we have already discussed it till last class. So in this session, okay, we'll discuss about the safety, how we can provide safety to the data. For example, suddenly if system is crashed, suddenly the drive is crashed, or it was rebooted, or by mistake someone deleted a sensitive data, or customers are asking from higher environment to lower environment to test their logics and all, to test their coding. Okay, they want to test it on a real-time data. So they need data from production to non-production environment. So in all these scenarios, we'll use backups and restore concepts. So everything, every single record, every single transaction should be backed up in the organization. As a DBA, it's our responsibility. Okay. So we have in the SQL Server, we have around 11 types of backups, guys. 11 types of backups. Okay, 11 types of backups. Actually, technically, it's two types: online backups, okay, offline backups, or cold backups. We can say online backups or hot backups, and we have one more word called cold backups. But don't tell all these things in the interviews, okay? Mainly they will ask what and all different types of backups. Generally, in the interviews and all, you have to tell 4 to 5 types. That's it. I'll tell you what and all 5 important backups. Even though we have 11 types of backups, generally we'll deal with 4 to 5 types of backups on a regular basis. Online backups or hot backups means the backups that you can take when the database is online, okay, called hot backups. The backups that you can take when the database is online is called hot backups. And you can guess the cold backups definition, guys. Tell me.
When DB is offline.
Correct. When the DB is offline is called cold backups. Cold backups. So under hot backups, we have 10 types of backups. Full backup. Okay. Full backup. Differential backup. Transaction log backup. Transaction log backup or T-log backup. Okay, transaction log backup or T-log backup. Fourth one, copy only backup. Fifth one, file and file group backups. File and file group backups. Sixth one, tail log backup. Seventh one, striped backup. No need to remember all these things. We don't use it. Okay, only 4 or 5 backups we'll use it on regular basis. On a complete regular basis, we'll use first 3 full differential log backups. Okay, striped backups, mirror backups,
Split backup.
and that's what striped or split both are same.
Okay.
Yeah. And partial backups, partial differential backups, partial differential backups. Okay, remaining 11th one, you know, right? Cold backups. 11th one is your cold backups, right? We'll concentrate on this full differential transactional copy only tail log backup, guys. Remaining, I'll just give you a definition. That's it. We don't do that. We don't use it generally. Maybe I'll explain split backups. That will be, sometimes people will use that split backups also. Remaining other backups, we don't use it in the organization. So you know that full backup means what, guys? What is full backup, guys? You can guess it.
Total database backup.
Full database backup. Full backup means it will take the backup of whole database. Okay, whole database in the sense how many files, guys?
Both MDF and LDF.
Correct. It will take the backup of MDF, NDF if any, and LDF means data files and log files backup. Let me add like this. It will take the backup of data files and log file backups. Okay, it will take the backup of data files and log files, guys. It will be big in size, okay, if the DB is big. Generally, the backup of the full backup size will be big and it will take time, okay, and it will take time, right? And it will take time if the DB is big, okay, if the database is big. Full backup also will take lot of time, guys. Okay, depends upon the size of the database, guys. Okay, why? Because sometimes in the interviews they will ask you for 1 TB of database, how much time it will take generally in your organization. Like that, they will ask you. Generally, only real-time people, those who are working, they only can tell the answer for that. Why? Because regularly, on a regular basis, we'll deal with backups, guys. Sometimes backups and all will be failed. You can imagine, generally, for example, in the organization, for example, if we are managing 500 servers, if you are managing 500 servers, I'm just giving a rough estimation, 500 servers. In each server, roughly imagine if 10 databases are there. In each server, 10 databases are there. 500 into 10 total, how many databases, guys? Total, how many databases? 5,000 databases. 5,000 into every database, we will take we will take 3 backups, full differential and log. So 5,000 into 3, how many backups? 15,000 backups you have to deal. Roughly, if it is 500 servers. If it is 1,000 servers, you have to double it, 30,000 backups you will deal regularly on a regular basis. So imagine on 30,000 backups on a regular basis means definitely 1 or 2 backups will be failed, right? 30,000 attempts means definitely 1 or 2 backups will be failed, right? So daily on a regular basis, you might get these backups, guys. Sometimes on ad hoc basis, they might ask you to take the manual backups also. So they might ask you what will be how much time it will take to take the full database backup in your organization. So it depends upon the size of the database. Sometimes it might take less time if the database is in small in size. If the database is big in size, then sometimes it will take time also to complete the backups. I'll tell you how much time it will take roughly. Okay. And what full backup will do, guys? Full backup generally will do one more thing also. I'll tell you what it will do. It will reset the DCM pages. I'll tell you what is this DCM pages. Okay, after a successful full backup. After a successful full backup, I'll tell you guys what is this DCM pages and all. So full database backup will take the backup of the whole database. It will take the backup of the committed and uncommitted transactions. Okay, it will take the backup of committed and uncommitted transactions. It will take the backup of committed and uncommitted transactions. Why? Because in the log files, we will have committed and both uncommitted transactions. Okay, and full backup will take time in case if the database size is big. And full backup also will reset the DCM pages after a successful full backup, guys. I'll tell you what is this DCM page. You don't worry. Okay, so how to take full backup, guys? How to take full backup? If this is the server, if you want to take full backup of any database, right
Right
click,
click,
yes,
tasks.
and backup. Very good. Okay, so backup you can take either GUI or using CUI, means using query also you can take the backup. Now you can see that if you want to change the database later also you can change it from the drop down. Okay, and what type of backup you want to take? Full backup. You have to select the full backup here. You have to select the full backup here. Okay, here you can see full differential log and all. Forget about all the other backups. We have to select the full backup here. Now backup component. Okay, database only. I want to take the backup of database only. This is the source, guys. This is the source. You can see source. Now backup to what? Backup to what? Backup to disk. Why? Because it will create a backup file, right? It will create a backup file. Backup file, where it will create the backup file? In our disk, right? So select disk. So Shanmukh, what is this URL? In case if you want to take backup to a cloud, we have storage accounts in the Azure. We have S3 buckets in the AWS. So if you want to take backup to any of the URL, you can, if you want to take backups to any of the cloud, you can use this URL option. If you want to take backup to a disk, you can use this disk option. So choose, make sure you are selecting disk. This is the default file name. It will be created. Okay. Generally, guys, here I can select the database. I can select the type of backup. I can click OK. Backup will be generated. But you didn't give the path and all, right? So SQL Server will give the default path here. So it is giving the path and it is also giving the file name also. See flipkart.bak. Okay, so let's see where it will take the backup. The same path will go and see whether backups are there or not. C, let's go to C drive. This PC, C drive, program files, Microsoft SQL Server, instance. I'm using default instance, right? Go to default instance, MS SQL, backup location. This is the default location. It will go to the backups, guys. Now, if I don't give any name, I have to give the file name, right? By default, SQL Server will take the backup with this name, but I don't want like that. I want to give my own name. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll remove this default one. I'll add it. It will go to the same default location. If you want to change the location, you can change it from this browse option. This is the browse option. You want to take backups to some other drive or some other folder, you can select the drive or folder from this window. Okay, now I want to take backups to this location, select the backup location, and I can give the name of the file, guys. Okay, so now I'll give, see, always when you are naming the backups, it's always important to mention the database name in the backup file name. Don't mention pandu.full-backup or nakul.differential backup or priya.log backup. Don't mention like that. Okay, why? Because the other team members also will work on this. So in future, if they want to recover the data using the existing backups, how they can identify which database it is? We have other options also. We can use queries, but easily, again, running the queries and all will take time. But easily, how we can detect the backup files, guys? If you mention the database name in the backup file name, it will be easy for us. We can easily detect it. Okay, mention the database name and mention the date also. We can easily identify. And first mention the type of backup. Why? Because we have different types of backups, right? So mention type of backup, full backup. This is underscore date, when you took this backup, how old the backup is. So mention the date also. Today's date is 28/7/2024. Okay, dot. There is a backup extension for every backup file, backup extension. It's not mandatory, but generally we'll give the backup extension. So full backup extension is .bak, backup file, right? .bak. So this is how you have to name the backup files. You can give any name. It's not mandatory. For Flipkart database, you can give any name. You can give pavankalyan.bak also, it will take. You can give katrinakaif.bak also, it will take. But others has to identify, right? Others can't see what is this katrinakaif.bak. They cannot confuse, right? So that's why it's always recommended practice to make sure the database name is included in the file name. But it will take any name. It's not like only you have to give Flipkart and all. It will take any name. Your name.bak also you can give, but that is not a professional kind of things that will follow in the organization. So professionally we'll give the names like this to the backup files. Okay. Sometimes people also will add time also. Now when you are taking the backup, it's almost, what is the time now? 7:42. Okay, here it is 7:42. So underscore, you can mention like this. 7 means what? 16, 19, right? 19:42. Okay, something 00 seconds dot bak. Sometimes they'll mention time also when you are taking backups and all. Okay, 7 means 24 hours format means 19:42. Okay, so like this also you can give the name and click OK and click OK. Right, this is how we'll name the backups. Now go to media options. Go to media options. So you can see there are different options here. Either you can, there are two options here: backup to a existing media set, backup to a new media set. And here you can see one more option called append to the existing backup set. So backup set means, here you can see there are two different terminologies. One is backup set, second one is media set. Okay, backup set, media set. So what is backup set? What is media set, guys? A single database backup file is called backup set. A single database backup is called a backup set. Collection of backup files is called media set. I'll show you. Okay, I'll show you so you'll get an idea. So collection means not multiple files. In the single file, multiple backups will be there. I'll show you, don't worry. So first of all, you should know backup set. Right now, when I click OK, one file will be generated. That file is called backup set. Okay, so let it be. We'll discuss these points. Okay, append to the existing backup set or overwrite all the existing backup sets. This will be discussed. Okay, so reliability, you can perform verify backup when finished. See, generally in the organization, we don't select these options. Why? Because full backup itself will take a lot of time. It might take generally roughly 1 terabyte of database will take 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Remember this, guys. In the organization, they will ask you what is the biggest database size you are handling. If you tell 4 terabytes, okay, chalo, how much time it will take to take the backup of this 4 terabytes? What is your answer, guys? Suddenly, if they ask these kind of questions, how to answer? You cannot tell 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 5 hours. I mean to say the 10 hours, 20 hours, you cannot tell. They will easily get to know. If you tell very less time, or if you tell very more, like if you tell more time also, they can easily cut you. Okay, so what we have to tell? So remember this, for 1 terabyte of database, it will take roughly 40 minutes to 30 minutes to 45 minutes to complete the backup, if everything is good. If it is network backups, it might take 1 hour also. Network to the network path also, we can take the backups. Okay, so like that, if it is 4 terabytes, how much time it will take, guys? Don't tell perfect number. So now calculate like this, 1 terabyte at 30 to 45 minutes. 4 terabytes?
2 to 3 hours.
2 to 3 hours. Very good. 2 to 3 hours it will take to complete the backup of 4 terabytes. Like that, whatever database size you will tell, you have to calculate like this. 3 terabytes means you can roughly calculate, okay? 2 hours, up to 2 hours it might take, 1.5 hours to 2 hours it will take. So like that we have to calculate, guys. So generally backups itself will take more time, and if you select these options, again it will take extra time to complete the backups. It will check whether backup is successfully, like whether the backup file is healthy or not, it's good or not, whether it's corrupted or not. It will check using these options, it will check, but generally in the organizations we don't select these options, guys. Now let's go to backup options here. You can see the backup set name, keep it as it is, don't change it, leave it. And description and all we don't want. Backup set will expire, generally we'll take the backups. Okay. We can use the backups in a day, in a week, in a month also. So if you set the expiry, for example, you set the expiry as on and on so and so time, okay, maybe tomorrow it has to expire. If you set like this, up to tomorrow you can restore this. Like you can see, right, the expired food, can we eat that expired food? No, right? So if we eat it, means definitely it will be a problem. But here, if the backup set is expired, it don't allow you to restore the database. So generally, we don't choose any of these options. So it should be 0 only. The backup should never expire. The backup set or the backup file should never expire. Don't know when we are going to use it. So don't select this option. You can simply leave it as it is. Now there is one more option called compression. Set backup compression. So what is the use of this backup compression? Normally, what is compression, guys? Compression, compressed
It
file.
will reduce size. It will
Very
reduce
good.
size.
Very good, very good. Okay. So backup compression will reduce the size of the backup file. Believe me, guys, it's an excellent feature in the SQL Server. It's an excellent feature in the SQL Server. Otherwise, if you don't compress the backups, don't worry if the backup is compressed, maybe it will be corrupted, something like that. Nothing to worry. No, it will not be corrupted. So it's good, you have to compress the backups. It's a recommended practice. Otherwise, if you don't compress the backup, generally for 1 TB database, what is the backup size, backup file size, guys? This also they will ask in the interviews, guys. What is the size of the backups, full backup size of 1 TB database? Guess it.
150 GB.
150 GB. Prasad, you are working, huh?
Yes.
Right. So now if you don't compress the backup, For 1 TB database, the backup size also will be 1 TB, guys, if you don't compress the backups. If you don't compress the backup files, if you take 1 TB backup, if the database size is 1 TB, and if you initiate backup on that 1 TB database, it will generate a 1 terabyte of backup file. If you enable the backup compression, believe me, it will reduce the backup file size up to 85%, 70 to 85% it will reduce. Not 50, 60%, 70 to 85% it will reduce, guys. That means if you enable the compression for 1 TB, the backup file size will be 150 GB to 200 GB sometimes. I mean to say, sometimes means normally 150 GB to 200 GB when if you enable the backup compression. So where is 200 GB? Where is 1 terabyte, guys? Are you getting the point? And writing 150 GB will take more time, or writing 1 terabyte will take more time? Tell me, guys. Writing 150 GB of file will take more time, or writing 1 terabyte file will take more time?
The last one.
1 terabyte.
1 TB will take more time. It has to write 1 terabyte of data. So now if you enable compression, you are saving 80% of the storage, right? Earlier it will be 1 terabyte of data file will be generated. Now it is hardly 200 GB. 200 to 250 GB means 750 GB you are storing on one database. You are saving the storage, you are saving the time also. If you don't enable the compression, it will take 3-4 hours to take the backup of 1 TB. As you are enabling the compression, that's why the backups are faster and it will be completed in 30 to 45 minutes. So how much time you are saving? 80% time you are saving. 80% storage you are saving. 80% time you are saving means what? 80% of amount you are saving. 80% of money you are saving. That is the use of the backup compression, guys. So in the organization, 99.99% will use backup compression. Are you getting the point, guys? Is it clear about the backup compression? So here there are 3 options. Use default server settings or compress backup. Do not compress backup. So generally we'll use the first option. Why, Shanmukh? You can select compress backup, right? See, we don't manually take backups in the organization. Generally we'll go for automation. Okay, backups and all will go for automation, so automatically it will take. So who will select compression every time? Or else you mentioned query like compression query in the backup. But we'll use default server setting, means on the server level somewhere it was mentioned, right? Where it was mentioned, go to server properties, go to database settings. There you can see compress backup option. So currently is it selected, guys? Is it checked or it's not checked?
Unchecked.
Not checked.
It's unchecked, right? So now when you are taking backups, if you choose use server level settings, what will happen, guys? What will happen? It will take backups without compression. Are you getting the point now? So now what I'll do, I'll enable this option on the server level itself. So next time no need to select to compress or not to compress. Simply you can, okay, take the backups and you can make sure this option is selected. Use default server level settings. So what is the current setting, guys? Backup compression, what is the current server level setting? It's enabled, right? So
Yes.
you can forget about this option now. Why? Because server level we have enabled, and by default this option is selected. Use the default server level settings, server settings. So automatically it will take the backups with compression. Is it clear, guys? Now, guys, is it clear? Backup compression, use default server setting.
Yes.
If you
Yes.
don't enable backup compression on the server level, if you use default server setting, of course on the server level it's not enabled, it will take the backups without compression. On the server level, if you enabled, when you choose this option, it will take the backups with compression. So no need to worry about this option. So automatically you will get the backups with compression. Okay. So is it clear now? Now let me generate a script of this action and it will generate a script. Now you can see backup script is generated, but let's run this script. You can see the status here, how much percentage of backup is completed. You can see the status here. Click OK. See, How much percentage? Immediately. The database is small in size, right? Immediately it was completed. Okay, so now let's go and check, guys. See, the backup file is generated. Flipkart underscore full underscore date time dot bak. So the file that you can see is 540 KB. Let me show you the demo. Okay, what I can do, go to properties. I'll take the backup without compression, guys. This time you will get the difference. Okay, uncompress or else, why to unselect this one? Simply I can choose that one, right? Flipkart, tasks, backup. Right, this time I'm removing this, adding new file and browse and backup. You select the file is already there, so I'll do one thing. I'll just add extra name here. Okay, underscore something like that, new. Okay, underscore uh, uncompress. I'll add uncompress. Okay, dot bak. Make sure full backup is selected. Click OK again. Make sure full backup is selected. Forget about media options. We don't choose anything here. Go to backup option. This time I'll take the backups. Do not compress backup. I'll click OK. You can see the difference now. Okay, now click OK. Now see, earlier, what is the size of the backup, guys? Earlier, what is the size of 540 KB?
40 KB.
Now what is the size of the backup? 5000 KB. How much difference it is? 90% you saved. 540, 10% of 5211 KB is 520. So on an average, it's just 10% of this file. Correct, guys? Agreed? And if you earlier you can see that size 540 KB. When you select with compression, you can see the 540 KB is selected. And this time when you select and do not compress the backup, you can see 5 MB. This is 540 KB and this is 5 MB, or this is 540 KB, this is 5000 KB. You can see 90% we saved, guys. So that is the power of the backup compression. So generally in the organization, we will use backup compression option, and that is the post installation setting that we have to enable. After installation, we have to enable post installation settings, right? Configurations, right? So we will enable backup compression also. So every time when they are taking, or automatically if the jobs are taking backups, nothing to worry about. The compression option on the server level backup compression is enabled. So automatically all the backups, whether you are taking manually or you are taking through automation, all the backups will be compressed, guys. Is it clear? Now let me take the backup again. Right click, tasks, backup. Okay. Now again I'll remove this, I'll add this, I'll browse it, and I'll select the same file name. So now tell me, guys, I'm taking backup to the same location, same path with the same file name. Is it going to allow me, guys? Already in this location we have a backup file. Okay, same name we can see. So again I'm trying to take the backups with the same name in the same location. Guess it, will it allow or not? Just type your answers in the chat, guys. Yes or no? I want to listen from you. So type your answers in the chat. I'm taking backups to the same location with the same file name. Swapnil, time is different, correct, but we are not adding the time, right? Okay, fine. Good, guys. Good, good. Okay. So Prasad not allowed, Abdullah no, Priya maybe it will override that one, and Raj maybe it will overwrite. Sandeep no, Swapnil yes it will allow because time is different. Akshata yes it will append, I think. Snehankit or error. Priya yes. Ramya file size increase. Ablash no it will throw error. Amit it will take. Pandu no. Pavan yes. Snehankit override. Veena it will overwrite. Arun no. Saida, yes. Ramya, yes. Veena, yes. So Saida, Ramya, Veena. So is it Inky, Pinky, Ponky? Yes.
No, Shanmugh. Based on the option we selected, it will append or it will over.
Okay, very good. Okay, so now see here, guys. In the last, when we are discussing about the backups, we discussed about one word called backup set and media set. So this file, one file is called one backup set. Remember, one file you can see with your naked eyes, you can see this is one backup set, this is one backup set. So Shanmugh, you said collection of backup set, you said media set, right? So these two files, can I call it as a media set? No, no, no. This is one file, one backup set, this is another backup set. Okay, so now when I'm going to take a backup with the same name in the same location, it will allow you to take the backup. Okay, as you can see, if you see media options, there is a default option selected. What is that, guys? Append. Append. So even though you are giving the same name and you are giving same location, if you give different location, there is no conflict, guys. If you give different name, there is no conflict, but you are giving same location, same name you are giving. So in that scenario, what it will do, you know, by default, it will be appended. By default, it will be appended. If you don't want append option, you can override. So someone answered that it will be overwritten. No, by default, it will not be overwrite. By default, it will be append. I guess only one said append. Ramya, I guess she said append. File size will increase. No, Akshada, yeah. Okay, so append. So by default, even though you give same name, same location, it will take the backup, but it will be appended. By because you can see the default option will be append. If you don't want append, you can overwrite it so that it will delete the old backup set and it will create a new backup set, guys. Now you see here. Now what is the size of this backup file, guys? 540, right? I gave the same name. So it will append means it will be appended to the existing backup set. So now you see here, I'm just clicking OK. I'm not doing anything. I'm just clicking OK. Now it was completed successfully. And now you go and see what is the size. What is the size, guys? Earlier it was 540, right? Now it was 1080. So now what is this file called? Is it a backup set? Or what is this file called?
Media file.
Media set. Why? Because in this backup file, we have two full backups. Collection of backup sets is called media set. Now is it clear, guys? It will allow you. The answer is yes, it will append to the existing backup set. So earlier we have only one backup set. One file is there, 540 KB. Now it was added to the existing backup set. So now actually two full backups are there in this. You cannot see, but two full backups are there. While restoring, I'll show you how to check how many backup files are there in a backup file, how to check. I'll show you while restoring. Guys, is it clear? Backup set and media set. What is this file, guys? What is this file? What is this file?
Backup set.
Only one file is there. And what is this file? As you know that by just looking the name, we cannot see two files, but we have seen right just now, we have appended, right? So this is actually contains two full backup sets in this file. So this is called media set. Clear, guys? Are we good about the full backup? Questions, doubts? Any questions, guys? Any questions, doubts?
No doubts.
How we can determine the media set?
How we can determine? I'll tell you while restoring. I'll tell you. We have some queries. Okay, we have some queries. Using the queries or while restoring, I'll show you. Okay, whether it is a backup set or media set, how to determine, I'll show you. Generally, they will not use like that, but still, if you want to check, I'll show you how to check that one. Any other questions, guys?
Sorry, someone recently in an interview asked me, can we change the backup extension to any other?
Any other? That's why I just said I gave you Katrina Kaif example so that you can remember. Any other extension you can give. It's not the in the SQL Server extensions are optional. Optional means you have to give, but it shouldn't be like it's not mandatory. For data files you have to give .mdf only. For log files you have to give .ndf .ldf only. Nothing like that. For backup files you have to give .bak only. Nothing like that. You can give your name also. Full backup .abhilash. Full backup .abdullah. Any name you can give. Okay, extension can be also anything. It's not mandatory to have the same .bak. If you give bak, you can easily recognize. If you give .abhilash or Abdullah means how can you recognize? Whether it is a backup file or any other file, how can you recognize, right? So that's why we'll use the recommended practice as .bak, .trn and all, but it's not mandatory. You can use any extension. You can try it, okay? Can we take two different database into, no, that is not possible, Priya. Very good question. That is not possible. No, not at all possible. I think so. Okay, let's try. Okay. I'll take the backup. Okay, let's try. Even I also never tried. Good question. Backup. Priya is asking, can we take two different database backups into a single backup set? Okay, let's try. This time I'm taking Amazon backup. Remove, add, browse, and I'm selecting the same backup file. Okay, I cannot change the name, right? So technically it is possible or not, we'll see. Of course that is wrong. Why? Because in the Flipkart backup set you cannot keep Amazon database, but just technically whether it is possible or not, we'll see. Let's see. Okay, and we are giving the same name. Just click OK. That is possible. Okay, so while restoring, let me show you now itself how to check. Okay, I'm not going to restore, but I'll show you just how to check. Okay, from file, I'll show you there is a separate class. You don't worry on the restores. Just roughly I'm checking. Go to add, click on add option and select the file, full backup, this file, right? Click OK and select this file. Click on contents. Okay, now it will show you. Okay, so see here. Total 3 backup sets are there. First 2 belongs to Amazon. Last one belongs to Amazon. First 2 belongs to Flipkart. Last one belongs to Amazon. By default, when you see that, while giving the name backup set name, see it gave backup set name and it even gave the database name also. Very good question, Priya. Clear now? Yes, in a backup set, we can have a multiple backups, multiple database backups in a single backup set. Clear?
Oh, we have multiple.
Thank you.
No problem, Priya. Nakul, yes, please. Questions, guys? Questions, doubts?
In an organization, which option will use?
We don't use
append or
append. See, that's what in the organization will never, as you know the importance now, will you give the same name? Extra headache, right? Definitely if you change at least something. Okay, see here. Now let me delete this. Let me close this. So now again I'm taking the backups, right click, tasks, backup, and when you choose, okay, remove, re-add, browse. This time at least you will change something. Okay, 1942, right? What is the time now? 1928, 27. Okay, once you change at least one thing, then automatically new file will be created. So we'll never give the same name. So there is no question of which one we'll select. Are you getting the point? So when you change the backup file name, automatically a new backup set will be created. Definitely you know the meaning of it. If you give the same name, what will happen? You know that. So why we will give the same name in the organization? We'll give unique name. Is it clear, Saida?
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. But still I want to see means by default it will go for append only. So but we'll never select append or overwrite. Why? Because we'll give we'll give new name. So there is no question of append or overwrite. It will create a new backup set. Clear, guys? Full backup.
Yes, Chinmay, I have one doubt.
Yeah, Rajgopal.
If you take multiple database in a single file, I mean, previously we have done two database in a single file. So while restoring, it will separate the files, or it will
Again, I am
take one.
saying that is testing purpose. We'll never do like that. Why? Because it is very, very difficult. For example, if you are taking all backups into a single backup set, it is a media set. Now, the drive at one time, the drive will grow, right? So when you keep on taking the backups to the same file, definitely the drive size will be reduced. The free space will be, it will consume the free space. Now, if you want to delete old backups, how you can delete from the existing backup sets, media set? That is not possible. You have to delete the whole file. So that's why there is no question of media set in the organization. If we are following
Okay.
media set concept, then which backup we will use to restore and all.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maintenance wise, it is not a good option. We don't use media set kind of concepts. We'll give a new name. So automatically it will create a new file. So that next time if the drive is full or it's about to full, I'll delete the old backups. I can easily delete the backup sets. If everything you are dumping in the same file, I cannot delete the old backup sets. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions, guys?
If it is like when job is taking backup, then it will override or it will append?
See, when we are writing a job, we'll give a logic, right? Every time it has to include the date and time technically. So dynamically, it will include date and time. When I am running the job at 7:40 server time, all the backup file names will include. That's why I have added with the seconds also. So when you are running the job now, it will take the backups with 1942, 7:40, 1940. In the next minute you are running, the file name will be changed to 1943. So technically you are entering into the dynamic name in the backup file names. So time will be changed every second, right? So next time when you run, the time will be changed. So the file name will be included. The time will be included in the file name. So the new file will be created. New backup set will be created. So
Okay. Every time new backup file.
every time as we included, we don't give manual time. I gave manually, but in the script, in the automation script, I'll include time function. So what will happen if I include date and time function? If I am running the job today, at this moment, it will add today's date. And if I am running now, it will add the time. I mean to say, if the job is running now, it will add 1941. Something like seconds are there. With seconds, it will run. Next minute you want to run. Now, next second, if you want to run also, the seconds are different, right? So next time the file name will be 194122. If you are running tomorrow, 29th July 2024, 1941. So when you include date and time functions, it will take the current date and time when you are running the job. So automatically to include the time into the file name. So the file name will be changed. Separate backup set will be created every time when you run the job.
Yeah, Shan. No, yeah.
Questions, guys? Chalo, okay. So let's jump into the, okay, let me show you how to take backups using query. We have seen using GUI, right? Using query, how to take the backup. Okay, so this is the query, guys. Backup database name to disk is equal to path and file name dot .bak, and we have some extra parameters, whatever we have selected using our GUI option. So let me run this command, backup database name. This time we'll take backup to Amazon. To disk is equal to, okay, Amazon underscore full backup underscore 28/7/2024. Again, whatever I mentioned in the single quotes, this is optional. Whatever you want, you can mention. But again, as you are working with a team, so we'll follow the best practices, recommendations and all. That's why I'm mentioning the complete name and .bak. Okay, so now guys, can I tell this command? Can I run this command? Is it going to take the backup or it will create any problem?
No problem. No problem.
It will
You have to
take.
give partner.
Tell me, guys. Type your answers in the chat. Is it successful or it will throw the error? Type your answers in chat quickly. We'll jump into differential backups. Quickly. I got only one answer. Error. Okay, very good. Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your response. Now, let me execute this command. Okay. Right. I'm executing this command. So now, ding. So is it successful or it's failed, guys?
Success.
Successful.
How come?
Backup database.
Whatever you mentioned, that is correct. We didn't give the path, but how it was successful if there is no path?
Default path is there while installing SQL Server.
Very good. Okay. So you remember, guys, when I'm taking the backup, by default, it is giving a path. You remember that option, that screen, you remember? See? If you don't mention the path, it will take backup to the default location. Where we can see the default location, Shanmukh. Go to server level properties. Go to database settings. See here, backup default location. So if you don't give the path, also the backups will be successful. But it will, the SQL Server internally, it will supply the default path. That parameters, don't you see? Here you can say, I just want to give you an example. If you want to run the backup statement, you have to run all these things, guys. See, this is the query generated when we are taking the backup. See, backup database to disk is equal to, okay, path and file name dot .bak, and we have with no format, no init, name, file. This is backup set name, skip, no rewind, no unload, stats is equal to 10. But I didn't give any parameters, right? These are called parameters, guys. I didn't give any parameters, guys, but still it was successful. How come? You remember, guys, while creating a database, we have discussed the same thing. To create a database, you have to run 83 lines of coding. But we are creating a database simply with the 3 words, create database name. What about only one line? Not even a complete line also. What about remaining 82 lines, guys?
It's taking default settings.
Default settings. So this is also same. When you're running a backup, it's not mandatory to give the path. It will take a default location. So you can see the default location, the server level properties, database settings. By default, if you don't provide the path, it will go to that particular location. If you provide the path, it will go to that, whatever path you provided, it will go to that particular path. If you don't provide the path, it will go to the default location. Clear, guys? Is it clear? You can see the backup file also. Okay, see this one, Amazon full backup 28/7/2024.bak at 7:44. You can see the time. Okay, so this is how it will work, guys. So if you don't give the path, it will still work, but it will take the backups to the default location. Are we good? Questions, doubts?
No doubts.
Right. So let's quickly discuss the, can we take backup on file level? Yes, we can take backup on file level, Nakul. Okay, we can take the backup on file level also. Okay. Right. Now let's discuss the second backup called differential backup. Listen carefully. Logically, it's not so, I mean to say, no need to break your heads and all. It's easy only, but just listen carefully. Differential backup. Differential. Okay, difference means you can easily understand it. Difference. So now someone asked how frequently we'll take backups in the organization. So good question. Generally, it depends upon the application to application. Some applications will take daily full backups. Some applications will take weekly full backups. Weekly will take full backups. Sometimes daily will take full backups. Okay. So imagine I am taking backups on a weekly basis. Every Sunday I am taking backups. Today is Sunday, right? Every Sunday I'm taking the backup. As you know that when I take the full backup, it will take the backup of the whole database. The backup size will be big in size and it will take a lot of time also to complete. But every time taking full backup is also not good. Backups are performance killers, guys. That's why we don't run backups on business hours. We will run backups during non-business hours, night time, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, or Saturdays and Sundays. During off hours, we'll take the backups. Why? Because backups are performance killers. Consume CPU, memory, and disk like anything. Okay, so that's why we'll take backups during night times where there is very less traffic. Early morning, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, like that, we'll take the backups. So now imagine every Sunday I'm taking full backup. But every time taking full backup is also not good. So in SQL Server, we have one more solution called differential backup. What differential backup will do, you know? It will take the backup of all the changes since last full backup. Listen carefully. What differential backup will do, guys? It will take the backup of all the changes since last full backup. Let me go to this diagram. You might get an idea. Differential backup in SQL Server. Now you see here. Okay. Let me open this. So now see here. At 7 a.m., we have one record in this database, guys. At 10 a.m., you took the full backup. So when you took the full backup, how much time it will take, guys? I mean to say, forget about time. We have only one record up to 10 a.m. So when you generate a full backup, how many records it will take the backup? In the database, we have only one record. So when you take the full backup, it will take the backup of that particular record, right? Now, at 1 p.m., 3 records are added. 2, 3, 4. These 3 records are added at 1 p.m. Now total how many records, guys? 4 records. When you generate a full backup, how many records it will take the backup?
4.
4 records. Very good. Now at 2 p.m. you took the differential backup. What we discussed, what is the definition of differential backup? Listen carefully, very important. In the intros, pakka they will ask you the question on the differential backups. Differential backup will take the backup of all the changes since last full backup. When the last full backup happened, guys? 10 o'clock. And when the differential backup happened? 2 o'clock. Between 10 to 2, what and all changes happened, guys? Between 10 to 2. 2, 3, 4 records added, right? So what differential backup will do? It will take the backup of all the changes since last full backup. Now you see differential backup, how many records are there? 2, 3, 4. Expected, guys? Is it expected? Is it clear?
Yes.
Guys, what about
Yes.
others? So whenever you run the differential backup, always it will take the backup of all the changes, only changes since last full backup. So when you run the differential backup at 2 p.m., since last full backup, how many changes are there, guys? 2, 3, 4 records are added. So it will take the backup of only the changes 2, 3, 4. If it is full backup, 1, 2, 3, 4 will be there. But as it is going to take differential backup, it will take the changes, differences. So you can see the difference will be after full backup, the difference will be only 2, 3, 4. So you can see now the differential backup contains 2, 3, 4 records. Now at 4 p.m., 2 more records are added, 5 and 6 record. These 2 records are added. Now when you generate a 6 p.m., now tell me how many records it will take the backup, guys. Is it a 5 and 6 records or 2 to 6 records?
2 to 6.
2 to 6.
No. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Sorry.
Guess it, guys. You can see the answer. Anyhow, you can see the answer on the screen.
2 to 6.
Complete backup will take 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Yes. Again, remember at 6 p.m. you are taking differential backup. Whenever you are taking differential backup, always it will take the backup of the changes since last full backup. So at 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., whatever changes are there, it will take the backup of those changes. Don't think only 5, 6 it will take. No. You should know the difference between log backup and full backup. Whenever you trigger a log backup and differential backup, whenever you trigger a differential backup, always it will consider the last full backup only. Now, while restoring, how many differential backup I have to restore, guys? Up to 6 p.m. Tell me.
Last one 6 p.m.
Last one.
That is enough. Last is enough. Why? Because last one contains all the changes since last full backup, right? Is it clear, guys? The last one contains all the changes since last full backup. So when I restore the last one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus the full backup, when you restore 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 records, you will get it. Now you see here, 7 and 8 records are added at 8 p.m. Now at 10 p.m. you generated a full backup. When you generated a full total, how many records are there in this database? 8 records are there. When you generated a full backup, it will take the backup of all 8 records. This is clear, right, everyone? This is expected, right?
Yes.
Now, at 11 p.m., 9 and 10 records are added again. Now, when you take differential backup at 2 a.m., how many records it will take the backup, guys?
Only 2 records.
2.
Why?
Records. Already full backup will take.
10 p.m. already full backup.
It will calculate from full backup.
Correct. Very good. Always it will consider the last full backup. So at last full backup, we have 8 records are there in the database. After last full backup, only 2 records are added. So that's why when you take differential backup at 2 a.m., only 9 and 10 records are backed up. So how it will identify, how differential backup is will identify, guys, this. There is a mechanism called DCM page. What is the DCM page? Differential changed map. What is that, guys? Differential changed map. So what this differential changed map will do? It will always track all the changes since last full backup. That is the system page, guys. In the interviews, they will ask you how differential backup will work. Okay. So differential backup will always take the backup of all the changes since last full backup. Okay. Always recent differential backup is enough to restore. Okay. Right now, how differential backup will work? DCM pages. What is that, guys? Differential changed map. This is a system page. It will track all the extents changed since last full backup. So when you trigger the differential backup, how SQL Server will identify all the changes? It will not sit and it will not calculate this is changed, this is changed. No. It will directly go to DCM page. Your SQL Server will goes to DCM page. Hey boss, Akshata is asking me to take the differential backup. Can you please help me? Then differential changed map, this DCM page will give you, hey brother, these are the pages changed since last full backup. These are the extents changed since last full backup. Take the backup of these extents. That is enough. So DCM page will give the list of the extents changed since last full backup to SQL Server. So SQL Server will take the backup of only the changed extents. Is it clear, guys? How the differential backup will work? Is it clear? Any questions, doubts? Guys, so silent. Is my audio clear?
Yeah.
No doubt.
So that's why Whenever you generate a full backup, the DCM pages will become reset. That's why I have added one point. Why? Because if it is not reset, what will happen? Please be muted. If it is not reset, it has to take backup from last 10 a.m. Okay, as it will reset after this 10 p.m. So that's why it will track from this 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Is it clear, guys? So whenever you take the full backup, it will do two things. First thing, it will take the backup of whole database. Second thing, it will reset the DCM pages. Again, the DCM pages, the fresh journey will start for the DCM pages from the last successful full backup. If it don't reset, it has to consider from the 10 a.m. So 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. how many records are there? It will take the backup of all the records, which is wrong. It has to take backup of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If it is considering from the last full backup, that is wrong. So at 10 p.m. it will take the backup of all the 8 records in the database and it will reset DCM page also. So from 10 p.m. onwards, again DCM page will start tracking the changes. That's why when you run a differential backup at 2 a.m., from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., whatever changes are there, those changes has been recorded in the DCM page. The extents will be provided to SQL Server and SQL Server will take the backup of only the changed extents. Are we good, guys? If you are not good, if it is not clear, remember one thing. Always one recent differential backup is enough to restore after full backup. This is one point, blindly remember. Second point, differential backup will work based on the DCM pages. In case if they are asking internally how differential backup will work, differential backup will work based on the DCM pages. DCM means differential changed map. It will track all the extents changed since last full backup. You remember these 2 points. Clear, guys? Any questions, doubts on the differential backup?
How to identify between full backup and differential backup files?
You cannot, again, while giving the names, that's why I gave the name as full backup. Generally in the organization also, when we are taking backups manually, okay, when we are taking backups manually, we'll provide the name in the file name. But still there is a mechanism using some custom scripts you can find out, or else last time we have seen, right, contents option to see how many backup sets are there in the media set. That also will help you to find which backup it is. Let me show you while restoring. Restore. Okay. From device, forget about this, guys. Restore, I'll tell you. Don't worry. Add and select any backup and select this backup and show contents. So now you can see what type of backup it is. Component. If it is a differential backup, it will show you differential backup. If it is a log backup, it will show you log backup. But generally, no need to check like this. How many backups you will check like this? You are going to deal with thousands of backups. So in the file name itself will mention differential backup. So you can easily identify. Don't guess the backup files names based on the sizes. Sometimes full backup will be small, differential backup will be big, log backup will be small. So it depends upon the transactions. Okay, so that's why you cannot identify, okay, if that is big in size, that is full backup. If it is small in size, that is differential backup. Okay, so don't identify like that. Why? Because last Sunday you took the full backup. From last Sunday to this Sunday, huge transactions came into the database. So definitely this one, differential backup will be huge in size. Okay, so don't try to understand using the sizes of the backups. Okay, you can simply check the file names. It will show you. In some organization, they will create a full backup folder. So all the full backups will goes to full backup folder. All the differential backups will go to differential backup folder. All the log backups will go to log backups folder. So based on the folders you are accessing, you can easily identify, right? Clear? Are we good, guys? Questions, doubts?
No, sir. Okay.
Guys, why so silent? Is the differential backup concept clear or it's not clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Clear, Sharma.
Okay. So now let me take differential backup and then we'll take a break. Okay, so how to take differential backup? Same, go to tasks, backup. So you have to choose differential backup here. Okay, remove the path, add, browse, select the path. Okay, if it is default location, you can just select it, and file name, you can simply give Flipkart underscore differential backup, diff backup underscore 28/7/2024. 2024 or 7, okay, 2024. You can, if you want, you can give time also. For differential backup also, the extension is .bak only. Okay, click OK. That's it. Only the option will be changed, file name will be changed, remaining everything is same. So for differential backups, there is no concept of backup sets and all. Why? Because only for full backups we'll have all these things. So after that, we can easily, okay, take the backups. That's it. In this way, you can take the backup. Or else you can use the query also. Backup, database, database name, to disk is equal to single quotes. Imagine for the same Amazon, I'm taking Amazon underscore full backup underscore, sorry, differential backup. Guys, I can still give full backup name also. It don't throw you error. Hey, you are taking differential backup in the file name. It was different full backup. No, whatever name you will give, it will take, guys. Underscore 28/7/2024.bak. This is full backup query only, right, Shanmukh? Then why you are saying the same full backup query? Okay, you have to add a parameter called with differential.
Differential.
That's it. With the differential is the differential backup query. Select two lines, and earlier we have generated using GUI, right? So this is the one. Flipkart differential backup. This is C diff backup. Okay. Now I am taking for the Amazon. So backup database name Amazon diff backup, and execute, so that it will take the differential backup. Okay. See here. Amazon full backup this is, and Amazon differential backup this is. You can see just now we took 8585. Clear, guys? How to take differential backup using command, using GUI?
Shanmukh, for differential backup, is there any time limit? I mean, after taking the full
No.
backup?
I'll tell you the backup strategy. They will ask you from backup side, they will ask you backup strategy. What is your backup strategy and all? So I'll tell you, generally in the organization, weekly will take full backups, and every day, daily will take the differential backup. So different backup strategies will follow. I'll tell you after break, I'll tell you. Okay?
Okay.
Clear, guys? Differential backup. If it is not clear, which point you have to remember, guys?
The latest differential
Last
backup.
two, what are the transactions updated, last updated transactions? You can take the differential backup.
Transactions. So where I use it, transactions word, Rajgopal. Forget about it. That is not the primary point. Always a recent differential backup is enough to restore.
Okay, yeah.
Guys, one more thing. Can I take directly differential backup without taking full backup?
No, not possible.
Let me try on Zepto. I didn't take any full backup, right? Backup. Okay. And I'm taking differential backup. Remove, add, browse, Zepto diff backup .bak. Click OK and click OK and click OK. What it is saying, guys? What did he say?
Current database does not
Without full backup, we can't take that differential.
Yes. So full backup is mandatory for the databases, guys. Without full backup, I cannot take any backups. Why? Because it has to track from the last full backup only, right? If there is no full backup, from where it will track? Okay, so full backup is mandatory for differential backup, and even for all the backups, log backups also, full backup is mandatory. Without taking at least once, without taking a full backup, I cannot take differential backups. At least once after creation of database, at least once you have to take full backup. Okay, so that is all about your differential backup wise. We'll be discussing other things after the break. Take a break, come back after 15 minutes, we'll cover the other things, okay?